Hello everyone and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the home of the Sandia Peak Tram and the site of tonight's Western Conference showdown between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights. Welcome to the lab. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, these two teams coming into tonight, despite the difference in rankings, in rich veins of form.
Yeah, both teams absolutely killing it right now. Could say probably two of the most informed teams in the USL, definitely in the West. And this is a huge week for New Mexico United. Could say probably one of the biggest weeks they've ever had, at least in the regular season.
Lots to get into here this evening. So let's start with our players to watch, brought to you by Toyota. Starting off first for New Mexico United, it is the co-captain in his 5th season with the club. He's the club's all-time leader in clearances. It's Kalen Ryden.
Yeah, Kalen, he's had to be patient. Second start in a week. But an injury earlier on this season kept him out of the team, and then Herbert and Maples were playing so well together. Again, he's had to be really, really patient. So he'll be eager to keep his spot, and it's great for New Mexico United having one of their captains back on the field.
On the other side, it's the other team captain. It's Valentin Noel, 7 goals to his name here this season, the 2023 MLS Next Pro Cup MVP. He's been a creator for this Las Vegas Lights side.
Yeah, French midfielder, having a great season. Was drafted by Austin in the first round of the Super Draft. Played for Austin too after a very successful college career with Pitt. Scored the second of 3 goals last year in that cup final you were talking about.
The 2024 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll step aside. We'll be back with lineups and kickoff.
Went on 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I said the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest, improved it. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
Back here at the lab, tonight's match brought to you by New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services. Chris, let's have a look at our starting lineups here this evening, presented by the Somos Unidos Foundation. And we're going to start off first with the home side. First place in the Western Conference, New Mexico United coming out looking like this. For head coach Eric Quill, we're going to see a couple of changes from this side that won in El Paso on the weekend. Tony Herbert and Jacobo Reyes getting the start.
Yeah, first time to my knowledge that Ryden and Herbert are going to be playing together at the back, so a little bit of a change up there, but as we said, great having Ryden back there. Rivas, Jacobo Reyes and Josu holding down the midfield. Hurst was deployed on the left side against El Paso. Interesting to see if the same tactics deployed tonight.
And on the other side here for the visitors, this is how Coach Dennis Sanchez is rolling out his 11. We see 3 changes to the side that drew in Colorado Springs last Friday night. You're going to see Loney Grayson Duty getting the start here tonight, alongside fellow Loney Usman Jabang, and New Mexico United's favorite visiting player, we'll call him Solomon Asante, getting the start tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the fans in the building remember Asante. If they do, then I'm sure he's going to get a warm New Mexico welcome.
This one, a huge matchup when you look at the implications here for the rest of the season, Chris. You've got New Mexico, who are sitting in first place currently in the West. Couple games in hand. This is one of those games in hand here tonight.
Yeah, let's say a huge week. I mean, it started with El Paso on Saturday. The game tonight against a really informed team like we talked about as well in Las Vegas. But then there's that monster clash on Saturday where you and I, we're allowed to talk about it a little bit, but I'm sure the talk within the New Mexico United dressing room has been to not overlook tonight and start thinking about Saturday and how big that game will be as well.
Las Vegas in their road whites, New Mexico in their home black Meow Wolf kits. We are just about ready to go here. Daniel Bruce in the center circle, and we're underway from the lap. So it's New Mexico United coming in, putting their unblemished home record here on the line. 7 wins, 1 draw at home so far this season. If you're counting it up, that is 22 out of a possible 24 points here in friendly confines. And New Mexico looking to start quick here. It's Sergio Rivas. It's the Albuquerque native. Rivas has 95 USL Championship appearances for his hometown club. He actually scored last time New Mexico United were here at home that a week and a half ago to Birmingham Legion. What was the 1 draw at home this season? It was a 60th minute goal for Rivas. For Rivas, his second of the championship season. Battled some injuries, his Rivas, but found his place back in the side recently.
Yeah, and he's hoping the same as well, as that this is the start of a run in the team as well. You know, you can see how valuable he was last year. His goals and assists, chipping in from midfield. Really important that you get goals from not just your striking options. You need goals from midfield as well, and that's certainly something that New Mexico United have had this year, and he'll be looking to add to that as well.
So Rosarena, he had a fantastic match against Switchbacks last week. Made some huge saves against Ronaldo Damas. Here comes Jacobo Reyes looking to turn the corner here. Finds Rivas. Rivas loses possession. Lights on the attack. Here's Asante looking to play the through ball. He connects, and it's an early save for Alex Tambakis. It was Gennaro Nigro making the run. And New Mexico with a giveaway here, affording Lights the opportunity to counterattack. Here's Nigro once again. He gets another opportunity, feeds it into the middle, and that one just sent wide by Pinzon.
Yeah, that's not what New Mexico United be looking for. They're normally so assured playing out from the back as well, but Las Vegas Lights, their front two of Pinzon and Noel, just getting the press right and forcing the mistake. And Herbert there, you could see he didn't know whether to go or stay and press, and got a set, and Pinzon just got it wrong in the end there. New Mexico United dodged an early bullet.
Alex Tambakis, the USL Championship's all-time leader in saves, and we're going to see an early yellow card here to Christian Pinzon. 3rd minute going into the book, and Daniel Bruce standing up for his teammate there. It looks like Kalen Ryden who got the worst of it. So a 3rd minute yellow card here for Pinzon. As we get another look here on this TLC replay.
Yeah, nowhere near the ball. And you could see almost Kalen Ryden almost saw it coming and stepped in front. He knew a yellow card as well. Pinzon knew a yellow card was coming as well. The worrying thing is it looks like it was his ankle, and you couldn't really see on the replay if he turned it at all. Hopefully it's just a contact, because contact tends to be a little better in terms of those kind of, an ankle injury. The thumbs up there from the head trainer, Carlos. It looks like he's going to be okay. But yeah, a little scare early on, and we just talked about how hard he's worked to come back from injury as well. So hopefully he's okay to continue.
Yeah, as you mentioned in the pre-match, Ryden making his second start in a week. He's making his 114th appearance for the club since joining back in 2020. Played 90 minutes on the weekend in El Paso. That was just his second start of the season against El Paso.
And for how important he's been over the years for New Mexico United since he joined from Real Monarchs, I guess that's just testament to how well Tony Herbert and Tyler Maples have done as well, though. They've been able to keep him out of the team because it's been a really good partnership, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Ryden and Herbert work together, because Maples and Herbert had a really good understanding. Against El Paso, it was Maples and Ryden. There's another player down for New Mexico United again. He's just holding his foot. Eo Flanagan. He took a little knock as well.
Reyes seemed to misjudge that one there. Well done by Smart to keep the ball in play. This goes back to Duty. Grayson Duty made his debut as a second-half sub for Lights against Switchbacks last Friday night at Widener Field. What is the 9th consecutive match in which Lights have avoided defeat? Solomon Asante flagged for offside.
Yeah, 9 on the bounce without a loss as well. We were talking pre-game as well. They've only Las Vegas Lights have only had 2 wins all season away from home. Those 2 wins have both come in their last 3 games away from home, so they're hitting a bit of form away from home as well. And early on, they've started really brightly here, just knocking the ball through midfield, really good in tight areas. And New Mexico United just struggling to deal with them early on here.
Here's Ryden. Ryden has that one picked away by Smart. Pinzon. Pinzon hearing it from the home fans after that early challenge on Ryden as that shot attempt goes wide.
That was Smart taking the shot, scored against Switchbacks last time out on Friday, the game was.
Here's a look at Eric Quill, the gaffer, 3rd head coach in club history. He's been at the helm for just over a calendar year now, Chris, and what a job he's done so far.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding. I think there was the atmosphere, I'd say maybe around the club was not incredible, but the fans are enjoying turning up. The fans are enjoying what they're seeing, and just look at the league position. It doesn't lie. The start off the season on fire, and their home form has been a big part of that.
Right in, and a little miscommunication there between he and Abdi Muhammad. Going to see a throw in here for Lights. Pinzon previously spent the last couple of seasons with RGV. Made 35 appearances, scoring 10 times during that stretch. Herbert making his 14th start here this season, 15th appearance, another giveaway here for New Mexico. There's Jabong. Duty now surveys Gondo. Still in Gondo. And then Gondo wins the throw.
Just little things for New Mexico United right now, like obviously a little wayward with their passing, and they're just the chance for Jacobo Reyes to go into a 50-50 tackle and didn't take that opportunity.
Look at Dennis Sanchez on the touchline, the gaffer for Las Vegas Lights. And so far so good for Sanchez as Kalen Ryden goes down again following some contact in the box. It looks like Valentin Noel this time. Lights, and Kalen can see he's having some words with our official here.
I'm curious if this is a tactic from Las Vegas Lights where they're really trying to force New Mexico United to play through this left-hand side of their defense with Abdi Mohammed and Kalen Ryden and just the bobbles and the bounces on this part of the pitch over here. Maybe that's what they've earmarked as an area where they can really get some joy.
Elvis Osmanovic, the official running the show here this evening. Osmanovic has already officiated 7 matches so far this season. Giving out 27 yellows, yet to give out a red card. Mohammed with a giveaway. This is becoming a trend here through the opening 10 minutes. It's a big collision there in the midfield, and the official going to stop play to make sure Hosu is all right. I can't tell who's down for Lights. I believe that's actually Smart. Big collision there.
It was a big collision, and it was more Hosu was standing his ground there, and Smart was just moving so quick he couldn't really stop, and I don't think he actually touched the ball. Smart, he tried to step on the ball but saw the contact coming as well, so I think the referee was just going to let them play on, kind of 6 and 2 threes. Whether this is going to be a drop ball or whether he's going to award a free kick, he hasn't made a signal yet. But it's been a really weird start to the game, I guess, especially New Mexico United. Las Vegas Lights will be absolutely delighted with it, other than there's no real rhythm right now, and they haven't been able to get into a rhythm either. But certainly territory, possession, endeavor, Las Vegas Lights have started way the brighter.
And here's a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Garcia Automotive Group. For New Mexico, get the first big chance, utilize home field advantage, and end Las Vegas's unbeaten streak. As you mentioned, Chris, 9 matches on the trot that they've avoided defeat. There's a look at your Ben Sherman Law injury report. Christian Nava, Abu Danladi, still the 2 names listed there. But Lights, 1 defeat in their last 12.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And just to think where they were last year, I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't offend anyone in saying that was an absolutely abysmal season that they had, and borderline embarrassing, really. And the ownership, new ownership's come in and really turned it around, and what a turnaround it's been, getting the coach that they wanted and the players that they want as well. And it's really, again, proof is in the pudding. They're riding high from going rock bottom to now they're sitting 5th, 6th and in playoff contention.
New Mexico squanders possession once again, and this is going to give us time for this 5:29 game update, brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Duty makes a run into the midfield, looking to connect. Noel, flag stays down, and Valentin Noel opens up the scoring. Las Vegas Lights strike first, 12 minutes in.
First thought, I mean, there's some complaints from distance from New Mexico United subs on the offside, but first look for me was, I thought the timing of the run from Noel was absolutely perfect, the timing of the pass, and you have to say it's been coming. Las Vegas Lights have looked by far the brighter team early on. New Mexico look like they're at 6s and 7s at the back right now, really don't look like they've got any kind of understanding with each other, and that was just far too easy.
That is the 8th goal of the season for Valentin Noel. He is Las Vegas Lights' leading scorer and now has the visitors up on the road. And for Lights, if they can score first, that's usually a good thing. As we get into the look here on this TLC replay, what a run from Noel and a great finish past a sprawling Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, and I think that, again, I think the timing was absolutely perfect on the pass, and there was questions from the crowd and from some of the New Mexico United defenders looking towards the assistant referee. I think he got that one spot on. I think, again, it was just a really well-worked goal, and the run from out to in, pretty similar to what we saw against Colorado Switchbacks, actually. They look for those runs from wide of central into those central areas, and it worked again for them.
As I mentioned, it's usually a good thing for them when they score first. They've avoided defeat their last 8 matches when they score first. You got to go all the way back to opening day against Memphis when they scored first, then allowed 2 goals to lose. And so Lights, they're really good when they start out hot.
Yeah, and the problem New Mexico United have is I don't think, so we're 13 minutes, I don't think they've been in the Las Vegas Lights box yet. And when you do get there, they've got a goalkeeper who's on terrific form as well. So even if you do manage to carve out some chances, you've still got to get that final piece. And conversion rate-wise, he pulled off some unbelievable saves against Switchbacks on Friday night.
That one headed away by Hafferty. Joe Hafferty, the 26-year-old, previously spent some time with Austin FC, played 31 appearances for Austin FC 2 and MLS Next Pro last season. There's Mohammed. So New Mexico with some work to do. Reyes was a second half sub in El Paso on the weekend. Flanagan now. That troubles nobody.
That's the first foray into the attacking half there. What sure was that? Oh, Serena going for goal there. He just absolutely smashed one down the field. You don't often see it in the modern game. It's very rare that you see goalkeepers just absolutely smash one down the field. It kind of caught us off guard a little bit there. But if you're a New Mexico United fan watching at home, you're kind of hoping that it appears that the goal for Las Vegas has weirdly woke up New Mexico United and calmed them down a little bit, especially in possession.
Here's Smart on the score sheet against Switchbacks. Asante. Looks like play going to be called back. So this looks to be a Fiesta Auto free kick here for the visitors. Here's Noel. Noel finds Nigro. Oh, and a miscommunication there. Still, it falls to Smart. And he sends it wide, asking for the corner. And he's going to get it. Las Vegas Lights looking to double their lead here just 17 minutes in.
There was a little misunderstanding there. Worked out great. Broke to Smart. Smart has some really, really quick feet. You can see there. And he's only got one thing on his mind. He's just trying to work the angle to get his shot off there. And wasn't far away from finding that top corner.
Replays tonight brought to you by TLC Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Defend your home with TLC's service experts. It's going to be Pinzon to send this one in. Going back post, looking for Howell. Free header in the box. And that one just goes over the crossbar, but you saw at least 3 New Mexico United defenders standing and watching.
Yeah, they were dropping off to try and defend the line. That was one of 3 Las Vegas Lights players who could have had a free header there. Again, all over the place at the back right now, New Mexico United.
Here's another look at this replay as Howell rises up above Flanagan. And there you see 3 Las Vegas Lights players unmarked around the 6-yard line. Somebody receiving some treatment down there. It looks like Malik Howell. Malik Howell, believe it or not, spent some time. There's not often that we get to say this. Spent some time at the University of New Mexico back in the 2018 season. He was a Lobo. Since then, went on to play at Memphis over the next 3 seasons from 2019 to 2022. Made 34 appearances for the Tigers. So you know it's got to be good for him to come back to Albuquerque. Howell still receiving some attention there. That's Stephanie De Santiago, the athletic trainer for Las Vegas Lights.
Coach Quill pretty animated on the sideline there, talking to Josh Herbert, trying to get some instructions. One of the other coaching staff talking to Sergio Rivas as well about how to... New Mexico United technically outnumber Las Vegas Lights in midfield. Hurst, it looks like he's playing in behind Bruce as like a 10 rather than a straight up like 2 9s. So technically New Mexico United outnumber them, but you wouldn't think it's how the game has started.
It has been all Las Vegas Lights through the opening 20 minutes here. Looking to find Flanagan, and Flanagan, all the pace in the world, able to track that one down, but it's Nigro dealing with it momentarily. Hosu now. Hosu is looking for a Cobo Reyes and goes right to a Rosarena.
Cobo Reyes, he came in, he was inside and pretty narrow. He was right around the penalty spot when the ball was played by Hosu, so just a little too narrow, I'd say, from New Mexico United. You know, Flanagan's trying to hold the width on the right-hand side, but Jacoba, I think he's a central player more naturally, so his tendencies are just to come inside and add an extra midfielder, basically, but really want to try and spread out this Las Vegas defense if they can.
For any fans that might be watching, might be curious what's going on, why are they celebrating, why are they cheering? This is a tradition here that takes place at every New Mexico United home match. It's called the Magic Minute, and it starts at the 19-minute, 12-second mark, and that's to signify 1912 when New Mexico was recognized as a state, and then it'll end at the 20-minute, 18-second mark, and that is to signify when New Mexico United were founded as a club. The idea brought forth tradition instilled by the first head coach and technical director in club history, Troy Lesane, the current gaffer up at DC United.
I was literally just about to say that was much better by New Mexico United. See Sergio Rivas and Abdi Mohammed and Kalen Ryden in tight areas in and around their own penalty area was much better, but there's that little lapse in concentration, just things not quite going their way right now, and just allowed the ball to run out of play. But the little signs, you'd say that New Mexico United are beginning to wake up and maybe finding a little foothold in this game.
Jabong. Possession will stay here with Lights. Hosu finds Bruce, and Hurst loses possession. This the second matchup between these two sides this season. Last time they met up at Cashman Field back in early May. It was May 4th, actually. It was New Mexico United who were victorious 2-1. It was Daniel Bruce with a brace that day, scoring in the 13th and 30th minute as the offside flag goes up on Nigro. Samake on the score sheet that day for Lights. He's on the injured list here today, so we'll not be seeing him. It's the 8th meeting all time between these two clubs. 3 wins to New Mexico, 1 win to Lights, and 3 draws. Only met in USL Championship regular season play. And who can forget the last time these two teams played here last season, Chris? That was a 6-goal shootout, which ended with a 90th minute equalizer from Will Seymour from just outside the box.
Seems like a lifetime ago,
doesn't it? We've got an updated score there for you between Hartford and Detroit, and what a result that would be for the blue and green, taking down Le Rouge with a 1-0 victory there late in second half stoppage. Duty. Here's Howell, the Jamaican. Oh, and Bruce able to come away with this. Finds Hurst on the back heel. Hurst with the touch. Beautiful football. And Daniel Bruce sends it wide. What a combination there from Bruce and Hurst.
And he was able to pick the ball off a little in transition as well. And you could just see it was almost like there was a hesitation to take the shot. I think both Bruce had a chance to take a shot with his left foot there. Well done to find Hurst. Should have probably hit it. He has to play it back to Bruce and then just lost his foot and right as he took the shot and almost blocked his own shot there. But better. And again, watching the Las Vegas Lights against the Switchbacks on Friday, Las Vegas Lights were susceptible to giving the ball away, kind of like how New Mexico United have in the start of this game. Las Vegas Lights gave opportunity after opportunity to Colorado Switchbacks in transition where they just weren't good on the ball. Problem was the goalkeeper was there, and he's a man who's bang on form right now.
Speaking of being informed, Daniel Bruce and Greg Hurst both on the score sheets on Saturday. And keep in mind, not only did Daniel Bruce score the go-ahead goal not late, but in the second half, he won the penalty, which led to Greg Hurst's opening goal in the 14th minute.
Yeah, and that's you want your attacking players, scoring goals. They live on that. Like, confidence players, typically those attacking players really are confidence players. Look at the start of the season at Greg Hurst compared to last season. He's a different player, and it's all to do with confidence. But you do need those goals from elsewhere in the team as well. And so far, New Mexico United, they've had a few, like Abdi Mohammed, Rivas, Maples have all got chipped in with 2 goals as well. So they are getting goals somewhere else. But, those goal-scoring midfielders really need to help and chip in as well if the goals do dry up for the 2 attacking players. And I tell you what, Bruce and Hurst are putting in a lot of minutes right now as well.
12 combined goals between the two. Hurst with 8, Daniel Bruce with 4. Daniel Bruce's 4 goals this season. It's actually the most he's ever scored in a single season. Previously, he had scored 3 goals in 2021 and 2023 as Abdi Mohammed goes down. It looks like handball the call. Here's Reyes. Just to go further on that point, Chris, you look at the 12 goals that have been scored between Bruce and Hurst. The goal-scoring load, there's 12 goals scored by all the other players combined, aside from them. And you're looking at Maples, Abdi Mohammed, Sergio Rivas, they each have 2. Reyes, Harris, Nicky Hernandez, Micheletto, Akale, Hosu, all with 1. There's a takeaway there from Hurst. Rivas now. Flanagan loses possession.
Flanagan, he must be such a tough player to play against and maybe to play with as well, you might say. He's just so athletic, and he gets to... He had no right to even really get a tackle in there, but he's just so fast over the first 5-10 yards. So he's able to track that down. Adjudged to have given away a free kick now, but he's definitely seen more of the ball in the last 5-10 minutes maybe. Jacobo Reyes, it's just before that last attack there, he peeled out wide rather than going central, found himself on the ball as well. But that was another time where Las Vegas Lights gave the ball away in midfield, and New Mexico United just weren't able to find the right pass to maybe break a line straight away.
Here's Duty. Nigro. Noel now. And Noel is one of those players that just finds himself popping up in different positions.
That's what I was saying, yeah, in the when we're talking about players to watch, right? He drifts everywhere. Looking at his touch map from last week as well. And literally, I don't think there was a blade of grass, a blade of turf, I guess, up in Colorado Springs that he did not touch.
That's what makes him so difficult to defend.
He found himself in acres of space there because he was just playing off the shoulder. Looked like he was playing deeper. So Tony Herbert probably just kind of switched off for a split second, thinking that he wasn't a danger. Next thing you know, he's making the perfectly timed run in behind, and really cool finish as well.
Daniel Bruce called for the foul. That's going to give us time to let you know about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. That's Select, the player's choice. Rosarena just getting a little bit of an assist there from Hafferty. Raiko Rosarena, the 27-year-old Cuban, has 12 caps for his country. Spent the last 5 seasons with Tampa Bay Rowdies, has a short stint with Forward Madison in there as well in 2022. And Gondo in the midfield. Back to square one for Las Vegas Lights. Hosu. He draws the foul. Nanan Hosu, acquired via transfer from Loudoun back on February 23rd. Heavy touch there from Pinzon. Sees Jacobo Reyes come away with it. Here's Reyes now. Looking to start something up for New Mexico. Cross goes in. Flanagan goes down off the contact from Nigro. Back to Alex Tambakis, coming into tonight, 583 career saves. That is good enough to be the USL Championship's all-time saves leader. And he's been stellar in goal this year, Chris, averaging just 1.05 goals conceded per match. 17 appearances, 18 goals conceded in 17 appearances.
Yeah, it's been a great season, and you've got to say again, those 2 centre-backs who've, Tyler Maples until today has played every single minute, right? And him and Josh Herbert have created a really good partnership in front of him as well, and those guys together have really put it together this year.
Challenge fair there from Reyes. It's down went Smart. Lights looking to keep attacking. Here's Asante, the former Phoenix Rising man. And Gondo finds Jabong now. Deloney from Montreal. Jabong, the 23-year-old. Jabong with 1 appearance for CF Montreal in MLS. Had 3 appearances for the club in the top flight of American soccer last season. Sun setting here at the lab. You can see the strips of sunlight and some of the players' faces. So it's a warm evening here, Chris, but all things considered, weather fairly nice is an issue here for Lights. It looks like Rosarena is down in his own penalty box. This could be something to keep an eye on here just 34 minutes in.
It was as the ball was played across, he took the touch across his body and went to clear it, and he's implying that Bruce left one on him, basically, and maybe clipped him on the way past. You know, it's impossible to see from our angle whether there was any contact at all, and certainly the AR on that side, who's a lot closer, didn't adjudge anything to have happened.
So out comes Stephanie De Santiago once again as Rosarena receives some treatment. That's going to give us time to tell you to tune in to ESPN2 for a USL Summer of Soccer showdown as last season's top two sides from the East and West faced off in an interconference clash with perennial powerhouse Sac Republic hosting Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's Saturday, August 3rd at 11 p.m. Eastern at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm sure New Mexico United fans will also be keeping an eye on that one, as that match actually should be kicking off around the time that we finish up here on Saturday night, as all eyes on Sacramento Republic, as they're the closest team to the black and yellow in the Western Conference.
New Mexico United still have to play them twice this season.
Yep.
And so those two games, huge implications for the postseason.
So Rosarena still receiving some treatment.
I'm actually surprised with how warm it's been today that they haven't done an official hydration break. I know some of the guys were taking on liquids right then during the break, but I thought that today would have been a day that they did decide to take that break.
And there's a look at the current weather conditions. A toasty 98 degrees here. Obviously, rather low humidity. The slightest of breezes, we'll call it. As we're sitting here with our window wide open up here in the press box, Chris, and it's a gorgeous evening for some footy.
Yeah, anyone in Las Vegas is saying 98 isn't hot as well, by the way, but yeah.
Right. Back to play. 36 minutes here at the lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. It's a battle between first place New Mexico United and at sixth place Las Vegas Lights FC. Visitors leading the way by way of a Valentin Noel 12th minute goal. It's his 8th of the campaign. Smart battling here. Down goes Smart. The challenge fair from Hosu. Hosu with the outside of the foot pass there. Tony Herbert not in the match day 18 against El Paso, getting the start here this evening. And before we came on air, Chris, we were talking about the depth that New Mexico United have at center back with Talon Maples, as you mentioned, missing his first match here tonight. Congratulations, by the way, going out to Talon Maples and family on the birth of his first child. As he is available for selection tonight. He is in the 18. He's on the bench.
Just maybe a little sleep deprived.
Here's Jabong. Pulls it back. Ngondo now. Jean-Claude Ngondo has his pocket picked atop the 18. Rosarena is out fairly far. Daniel Bruce able to get out in front. It's still Bruce. And a late challenge coming in from Malik Howell. It's going to see the corner kick awarded to the black and yellow. What a counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, what a great early ball. And Daniel Bruce just playing on the shoulders there of Howell and Hafferty, and they have to be so careful. And it just seemed to take so long to develop. You can see he's just trying to push him off. And Daniel Bruce, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he is so strong. And it takes Howell finally just getting tired and go, all right, I'm going to take control of this situation. And a great save and tackle right at the death there.
So the corner kick coming in here for New Mexico United. Brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Headed away by Howell. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. I think that might have been the first corner of the evening for New Mexico.
And again, since before the goal, it was all Las Vegas.
Yep.
Since the goal, it's been a much more even contest. New Mexico United certainly asking more questions. And I was going to say earlier on that they're holding, they're holding a very, very high line, which is what Daniel Bruce just loves, running the channels in behind. So that'll be something to watch as well.
Reyes finds Rivas. Goes out to Mohamed. Abdi Mohamed, interesting to note here, playing on the left side. We typically see him at right back. But with the absence of Chris Gloucester due to injury, seen him play on the other side.
Yeah, New Mexico United asking for a lot of width and a lot of attacking from Astorga on the right-hand side and Abdi Mohamed on the left there, because Jacobo Reyes, right-footed, playing on the left-hand side, naturally wants to go inside. Eo Flanagan on the right-hand side, left-footed, wants to come in. So the width has to come from those outside backs, getting high, getting forward.
Rosarena taking his time, and it's going to allow us to tell you about the USL Summer of Soccer continuing on CBS. Surging Detroit City FC, led by first-year coach Danny Dicchio, hosting newcomer Rhode Island FC with reigning USL Championship Player of the Year Albert Dikwa. That's this Saturday, August 3rd, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain on the CBS Sports Network.
Danny Dicchio was one of my heroes growing up. Sunderland player. I believe he was a DJ as well. He went by DJ Melody, I think it was his DJ name.
That's incredible. Arturo Astorga has played 90 minutes the last two matches for New Mexico. Had a good performance on the weekend back in his hometown of El Paso, Texas. There's plenty of number 15 yellow jerseys in the stands there at Southwest University Park. Here's Greg Hurst leading the break here for New Mexico. He's got Reyes here to his left. Reyes tried to cut it back, and heavy touch from Rivas, resulting in a goal kick.
Another opportunity, though, in transition. It's those counter-attacks. It looks like that's where New Mexico United are going to be able to maybe get back into this game. And it's almost like Las Vegas. You can see the keeper here. He's just, every opportunity he gets, slowing the game down already in the first half here. And it's only a matter of time before people start getting frustrated. But it's great to see Greg Hurst there, breaking from deep at pace. Jacobo Reyes finds the ball, just couldn't quite get his feet sorted out to beat the defender on the inside, and it just came at Sergio Rivas a little too quick, so he couldn't get the ball under his spell.
New Mexico scoreless here through 42 minutes. And they've been tremendous at home this season. We mentioned the 7 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw record coming into this one. Defensively, coming into tonight, Chris, they had only conceded 5 goals at home through 8 matches. That's 0.63 goals conceded average.
I can see, and it's going to be, big moments are going to affect this game. You know, the Las Vegas Lights have had their big moment there, and they were able to tuck it away. New Mexico United have probably had two decent moments, and haven't. I don't think Rosarena even had to make a save. I think his defenders did the job. Definitely on that last one, it was Howell who came in with a storming tackle, and that'll be the disappointing thing.
Here's Ngando. Nice little flick there from Pinzon. Here's Noel, the goal scorer. Asante. Ngando again. Good defensive work there from Astorga, and able to win the throw-in. Duty, as his teammates call him. making his 22nd professional appearance here in the USL Championship here this evening. Back to a Rosarena, and it looks like Malik Howell took a knock there as he's down.
I think he got hit by his own player there. Yeah.
So once again, Stephanie De Santiago, the athletic trainer, out onto the pitch 3 times now in the opening 45 minutes. So while Howell received some treatment, I'd like to tell you about SiriusXM. You can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk. That includes USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. We've just been notified that there are 8 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time, celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94.
Well, we did say it was a bit of a stop-start half.
Yep.
So there, again, the referee making sure that the Las Vegas Lights players know that he is keeping track completely of all the time. Yeah, 8 minutes in the first half. That doesn't happen very often.
Looks like he's we're about ready to go here. Elvis Osmanovic, our official here this evening. AR's Chris Canales and Matt Trotter. And our 4th official here tonight, Charlie Delgadillo. Had a great call, I believe it was yesterday actually, with the PRO, which you and I had a little bit of involvement there on, Chris. It was an incredible call, just describing some of the ways that officials are judging some plays, describing some of the reasoning behind it, going through some clips, allowing us as broadcasters to ask some questions, all sorts of really cool stuff.
I just think the handball thing, like that, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, which I actually think I totally agree with it, but the way that it was explained, it's one of the most contentious things in soccer these days, is what's construed as a handball and what isn't. So knowing what referees are actually looking for, so we're able to explain that, I think that's going to be a game changer, right? Because it's one of the most confusing rules probably in soccer. And
one of the clips that they used for that handball discussion was actually a clip from Las Vegas Lights against Switchbacks. It was last weekend, as this ball played forward for Flanagan. Flag stays down on Ayo. And it's going to be a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Or actually, it looks like it's going to be a goal kick here for Las Vegas Lights.
Yeah, last touch there. It was Flanagan just tried to turn the corner and drive into the 6-yard box, and defender just played it off his knee and went out. You can tell no arguments from him really, and no arguments from any of his teammates. So you can generally tell when those decisions are correct, from basically the body language on the field. But Flanagan again, so athletically dominant and gifted. Just end product.
So a yellow card has been issued to the New Mexico United bench. Yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. So stoppage time. Little stop-start, just as we were for the first 45 here. I mean, the last thing you want to do here with New Mexico is getting to a track meet at over a mile high in elevation. Foul called on Nigro. And there you can see Elvis Osmanovic just telling him, you've called you for a foul here, here, and here, no more.
It's really well worked out by New Mexico United.
On the through ball, looking for the Scotsman. Greg Hurst connects with Daniel Bruce, and there's the equalizer. It's the 5th goal of the season for the Englishman, and he's now scored in back-to-back matches.
Las Vegas Lights brought the house trying to press New Mexico United, and New Mexico so calm in possession. Played it out through the right side of defense, ball down the line. What a ball by Greg Hurst as well, just to pick out his striking teammate there. And Daniel Bruce has probably one of the easiest goals he'll score all season.
Massive goal for a club legend. And what a week he's having. You score the winner in the derby away on Saturday night, and this, a huge equalizer just before the stroke of halftime. 5 goals on the campaign for the Englishman. That's his most in a single season.
Honestly, what's the saying? Hang it in the Louvre. To play it from Tambakis all the way up to Spring and Greg Hurst, and then, so what was that? It was probably 4, 5, 6 New Mexico United players involved in the build up to that goal there. It won't be goal of the week or goal of the season, but for a very different reason. It was a really, really quality goal from New Mexico United.
And just like that, game on. Say the black and yellow. Lights looking to answer quickly as the header from Kalen Ryden falls to Smart. And that one just goes over the goal of Tambakis. Did not miss by much.
I tell you what, Smart, earlier on, we talked about it as well. He was just trying to work an angle and just missed near post. He's just missed near post again. He does not need much of a sniff at goal for him to take on the shot. That was a half chance at best, and he decided to pull the trigger, and he wasn't far away from really testing Tambakis there.
And for Lights, closing out halves has been a problem for them this season. They've conceded 9 goals in the final 15 minutes of the first half. This season, only Miami have conceded more with 12. And not just that, conceding in the first half, period. Lights, they've conceded 22 first half goals this season, Chris, in 22 matches.
That was both goals Colorado switchbacks on Friday, their last game. It was 1-1 at halftime, and that's how it finished. There was 2 goals chalked off, both for offside. But, you know, again, chances given up, and it's that ball in behind. They are susceptible, Las Vegas Lights, to that ball in behind the defenders if you can find the will and runners.
Jean-Claude Ngondo connects here with Nigro. Did that ball well overhit from Gennaro Nigro. Hosu finds Astorga. Flanagan was looking to connect with Hurst, and that ball overhit for the Scotsman. Here come New Mexico once again. Herbert looking for Mohamed. Pinzon. Or excuse me, not Pinzon. That's Smart, able to get a foot to it. Bruce with the foul on Jabong. The 23-year-old Usman Jabong. Second appearance for the club. Made his debut as a second-half substitute against Switchbacks last Friday. So for Daniel Bruce, finding the back of the net on his 130th USL Championship appearance for the club. That's his 15th goal in black and yellow.
Tremendous season he's having, and obviously, great servant to the club, both on and off the field as well. And you hear it's almost like the goals by Daniel Bruce are cheered that little bit louder than maybe some of the others, just because the Bruce chant from the crowd, just loved by so many people in the stands and in the black and yellow. But that understanding between him and Greg Hurst is really starting to blossom as well. It's really, really fun to see.
There's Abdi Mohammed. And it's just interesting to see the development of Daniel Bruce as a player over the last 5 seasons, where we used to see him coming off at the beginning of his career, coming off the bench, usually as an impact sub, mostly as a fullback, as a midfielder. Then we saw him start gradually playing more as a forward. People were scratching their heads the first couple of times they saw him listed as a number 9 on the team sheet, thinking he's too small. But just look at the success. The numbers tell the story themselves. He scored a third of his career goals just this season. Smart, able to go through and get a touch on it, but that's no problem there for Alex Tambakis.
It's those runs from out to in again. Colts and New Mexico United centre-backs, they're just not accounting for those wide players. Asante and Smart on the right, Asante on the left. They're just not accounting for those players moving into their zones, if you will. And that's and they're just getting in their blind spots, and it's something that I'm sure will be addressed at halftime.
That is the first half whistle. It is 1-1 New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights knotted up here at the break. Valentin Noel and Daniel Bruce on the score sheet. Chris, your assessment of the first 45.
I mean, it's not necessarily been a game for the purists. It's been a little stop-start. That's why we had 8 minutes of added on time. But I'd say probably 1-1 based on the way the game panned out. Is probably a fair result at halftime.
We've reached the halftime break. 1-1 your score between these two, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside. We'll be back with halftime.
I was born in Farmington, New Mexico, and learned to fish here on the San Juan. Watching the seasons, the bugs, and the trout. Lunker Alley, Simone Canyon, Lower Flats, and Texas Hold'em. This place is world famous, and for good reason.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I tell the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
This dance was born here. It became the legacy of my family. 6 hoops, many forms. Eagle, butterfly, water serpent, Mother Earth. When I dance, it brings me home.
1, 3, 1, 2, 3, I tell the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
It is halftime here at the Lab between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights FC. Your score 1-1, presented by First Financial Credit Union. plenty to get into here over this halftime break. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it with a look at the scores and schedule from around the league. There you see the result from earlier. Hartford able to beat Detroit City 1-0, that on the CBS Sports Network. Then plenty of games going on this weekend. Charleston Battery taking on Indy 11 in a battle of Eastern Conference heavyweights. Then the match we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Le Rouge taking on newcomers Rhode Island FC on CBS. That's going to be incredible. Birmingham Legion, Hartford doing battle on Saturday night. Loudoun and Miami in an Eastern Conference showdown. And then a Western Conference showdown between Memphis and El Paso. So El Paso looking to get off the schneid there and get another win under their belt. A look here at the Western Conference standings. And Chris, if you're a New Mexico United fan, you love to see it.
Love to see it. And yeah, like you just said, you don't love to see it if you're an El Paso Locomotive fan either. But New Mexico United sitting top of the tree, and Sac Republic just won't go away either. The 2 games in hand might be key. And obviously having to play each other twice still this season. Still lots of twists and turns before the playoffs start, I'm sure.
You're going to have to keep an eye there on Oakland Roots, Switchbacks. A lot of action still to go here as the season continues on. Now a look at the Eastern Conference. Why are we looking at the Eastern Conference? Well, you look right there at the number 1, Louisville City FC, coming to the Lab on Saturday night, Chris. That one going to be a massive one with Supporter Shield implications.
Yeah, I mean, huge. If New Mexico United can win both games this week, tonight, get a pull out win and manage to pull out a win against Lou City, I believe they will be tied on points with a game in hand in that Supporters Shield race. But I also want to point out Rhode Island on an absolute tear right now. They were sitting rock bottom of the Eastern Conference for the first month, 2 months, whatever it was, and just on an absolute grind right now, just pulling out results left, right, and center.
The USL Championship is getting fun to watch as the season wears on. A look at our news and notes now. Tormenta FC defender Nick Akoto has been transferred to Burton Albion for a League One record fee. Love to see just the continued growth of the league here, Chris.
Yeah, and players going, like League One. I was telling you before the game when we saw this as well, Burton Albion, I get like PTSD whenever I hear their name mentioned. They were the team that relegated my beloved Sunderland to League One. But yeah, great to see so many players from the USL getting their chance across in Europe as well.
Elsewhere across the championship, OKC Energy announcing a new majority owner as they're due to come back to competition following the completion of their new soccer-specific stadium. And of course, USL Championship being represented at the Olympics. In fact, Las Vegas Lights FC, they're missing their midfielder Edison Escona as he's out there. Also Loudoun missing Riley Bedois representing their countries. A quick look at the Week 21 USL Championship Team of the Week. 2 familiar faces there. If you're New Mexico United fans, Greg Hurst and Abdi Mohammed. And also, you've got Sean Smart from Las Vegas Lights getting the nod. Stefano Pino from Birmingham Legion, your Player of the Week. And Tommy Sohn out of Birmingham Legion is your Coach of the Week. We're going to step aside. It is Noche de la Gente here at the Lab. More halftime coming up.
The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses are broken free from the fields.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes. We want the best. Everybody every night won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger. so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Touchdown by Rodriguez, going for goal, it's Morris, and it's in! Detroit City's ahead!
And a bit of space as well, he'll have a go from distance! Oh, what a goal!
First 45 in the books, 45 to go, but before we get there, your score between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights. 1-1 at the half, presented by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, plenty of action so far in the first 45, plus 10 minutes of stoppage time. Let's have a look at these first half highlights brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. And it was Las Vegas Lights asking all the questions early on. This here, in just the 12th minute, Valentin Noel, his 8th goal of the season.
Yeah, Noel, the timing of the run and just played off the blind side, the shoulder of Herbert there, and was able, in time to perfection, pops it through Tambakis' legs. Didn't notice that while the game was going on. What a cool finish. Talked about him in the pre-game, and an unbelievable start. Las Vegas Lights started on fire the first 10-15 minutes of the first half.
They sure did, but New Mexico were up to the task. Here's the equalizer. It was Greg Hurst linking up with Daniel Bruce as the Englishman slotting home for his 5th goal of the season.
I believe it was Astorga who played the ball down the line to Greg Hurst, streaking Greg Hurst from midfield from a little deeper, and he just has one quick look up, sees where Daniel Bruce is, and Daniel Bruce has one of the easiest tap-ins he's going to score all season. But what a brilliant team goal that was by New Mexico United.
Daniel Bruce finding the back of the net on his 130th appearance for the club. That is the most all-time. A look at your halftime stats here, brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. Chris, what do the numbers here tell you?
I mean, clearly Las Vegas Lights have had some decent chances. Smart has looked really bright on the right-hand side, coming in from the right-hand side. Possession, New Mexico United dominated it. Early on, really struggled to build out from the back. But just to prove how much more comfortable they were as the game went on, building out from the back, the goal came from that. It was from their goalkeeper, from their centre-backs, having the ball under pressure from the press of Las Vegas and being able to pick the lock and get the ball forward and get that equalising goal. So a really, really intriguing half. Again, it wasn't necessarily the greatest spectacle, but again, really intriguing. A little chess match, with the outside, the midfielders, Reyes and Flanagan pushing their players back, and the little chess matches going on. It's been a really, really fun first half, and looking forward to see what happens in the second half.
Plenty more action to go. Halfway done, halfway still remaining. New Mexico United 1, Las Vegas Lights FC 1 here at the Lab.
Win on three, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I told the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
This dance was born here. It became the legacy of my family. 6 hoops, many forms. Eagle, butterfly, water serpent, Mother Earth. When I dance, it brings me home.
Back here at the lab, a couple minutes remaining before we get underway with our second half. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand as Noche de la Gente night is underway here, and New Mexico United tied with Las Vegas Lights FC. It's Daniel Bruce scoring in first half stoppage time on his 130th appearance for the club, and that was the equalizer to Valentin Noel's 12th minute goal. So you see some of the substitutes warming up here, and Chris, as we're looking towards this second half, time for your favorite questions here. Give us what changes you would make if you're Las Vegas Lights going into the second half to get a result here tonight.
I mean, they have to be conscious of the space behind their back four. That's where New Mexico United have really been able to hurt them. Once they're able to get the two centre backs, Howell and Hafferty, facing their own goal, that's where New Mexico United have really hurt them. So they probably want to address that. I think Las Vegas Lights will be really happy with the front four. They've caused all kinds of trouble. Asante, Noel, Pinzon and Smart have looked really lively, and New Mexico United have really struggled to handle them on numerous occasions.
And for New Mexico, on the flip side, they started slow, able to pick things up there in the first half, ultimately resulting in that goal from Daniel Bruce. What do they have to do to keep their unblemished home record?
Calm on the ball. That's where the goal came from, right? The Las Vegas Lights brought the house, the press. They were going all guns blazing, trying to win the ball in the attacking third there, and New Mexico United were able to pick them off. So they need to be calm on the ball. In the first 10, 12 minutes, New Mexico were guilty of giving the ball away too often, which meant that they couldn't really get into any kind of rhythm. So I think that's really the main one, and just being aware of those runs. Asante and Smart running from out to in. It's the two attacking players of Noel and Pinzon drop a little deeper, which almost gives the two centre-backs, Herbert, not Josh Herbert, that's Tony Herbert, a false sense of security almost. And then those runs from out to in from Asante and from Smart are causing all kinds of trouble.
Well, if the second half is anything like the first half, we're in for a good one here tonight. It's New Mexico looking to pick up their third win against Las Vegas Lights at home in club history. This is the fourth time that these two teams have done battle on this field. New Mexico, 2 wins and a draw. They've outscored Lights 7-3 in those matches coming into tonight. Make that 8-4 now with this one halfway done. Elvis Osmanovic gives the whistle. Second half underway here from Albuquerque. Solomon Asante. Yet to hear the crowd acknowledge Solomon Asante. It's almost as if they don't quite recognize him in these Las Vegas Lights kits.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit of a welcome because he was a pest when he played in a good way.
Sure.
To a soccer player, right? He was such a thorn in New Mexico United's side when he played for Phoenix Rising. I'm really surprised that the fans haven't picked up on that he's here. But here's New Mexico United giving the ball away again, trying to build out from the back.
And what a challenge there from Tony Herbert. Herbert now looking to hit one long. A diagonal. Finds Jacobo Reyes. Reyes goes down and draws the foul. That was Duty. Whistled. Grayson Duty actually picked up his first career assist here tonight on that goal scored by Valentin Noel in just his second appearance. His first start. There's another look at this TLC replay.
Hey, you see Jacobo Reyes there, he was just waiting for the he felt his hand on his back and took the opportunity to fall down because there wasn't really much on. The diagonal ball by Herbert, he loves a big diag, does Herbert, especially out to the left-hand side, and he was pretty isolated.
Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. It's Reyes. It's headed away there by Valentin Noel. Frenchman. Oh, right back into Reyes. Could be onto something. Mexico will go back to Hosu. Finds Astorga here on the near side. Herbert loves himself a diagonal, as you just called out. Here's Reyes. Great touch. Header from Ryden. And it's right at Rosarena.
Kalen Ryden, obviously, he'd stayed up from the free kick there and just kind of hung out. And I tell you what, it was almost like slow motion. You could see the ball was going to drop on his head, and could he get the direction on it? And unfortunately, there just wasn't enough pace on the cross, so he had to try and generate some pace, and that allowed the keeper to make it a relatively comfortable save.
Kalen Ryden, 3 goals to his name since joining the club back in 2020. All 3 of them, Chris, by way of header.
Golden helmet.
That is what they call him. Making his 114th appearance in league play for the Black and Yellow here this evening. That's 4th in club history. So Rosarena takes some contact, and foul going to be called. And it's Flanagan that's going to get a talking to from the official. Rosarena looks to be all right.
I think that's the second time Rosarena's gone down with, after he's cleared the ball, but Las Vegas Lights kind of asked for it. You can see there he's just signaling, saying that's the second time, but they kind of asked for it in terms of messing around with the ball and just inviting pressure. And New Mexico United were pressing like crazy, and at some point, eventually Las Vegas, he did eventually just clear the ball, but again, it's just inviting, right? And Flanagan is so fast. He genuinely thought he could get there, and he very nearly did. Very nearly did.
Avion Flanagan, I'm curious to know who would win in a foot race between Flanagan and Dayon Harris. There's Astorga, finds Flanagan. Working through some tight quarters there. There's Mohammed able to win the throw-in. Abdi Mohammed, he's been involved in a goal in his last 3 appearances. Scored in back-to-back matches against San Antonio, then against Orange County. And picked up an assist on Daniel Bruce's goal in El Paso. Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico hard seltzer. There's a Cobo Reyes, the Harris, Texas native. Daniel Bruce making the run short. Instead, goes back post for Ryden, who redirects it into the middle. It's cleared away by Jabong. Astorga. Fans, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. You can catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. That ball went into the box, just evaded the touch of Daniel Bruce.
So New Mexico United early on in the second half, they are committing bodies forward. That's Sergio Rivas, I'm sure he's tasked with, or he's playing alongside Greg Hurst right now as 2-8s, 2-10s, whatever you want to call them. And Hosu's tasked with just holding down the midfield by himself. But even Hosu stepping into that attack there as well might leave them open a little bit in terms of a counter-attack in transition. But they're really pushing early on in the second half to try and get that go-ahead goal.
Nigro hits one across the pitch. Here's Duty. Jabong goes back to Duty. The 2 loanees in from Montreal. Here's Bruce, the goal scorer. Down goes Daniel Bruce, and a little frustrated there is the Englishman. Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for the home side. You were talking about being left open at the back, and just looking at some of the subs that are warming up right now, Chris, for Eric Quill, Marco Micheletto, Makwele Akale, two offensive-minded players. But then you see Talon Maples going through some stretches, some dynamic movements, perhaps some minutes here in the forecast for the new father. Off the free kick. Here's Herbert. And Herbert just loses his footing there. Gondo. And job well done defensively there to Tony Herbert.
That was two set pieces in a row, though, where everyone except the two centre-backs for New Mexico United vacate the back post, so that everyone makes a run to the front post, trying to leave the big centre-backs isolated at the back, trying to get a knockdown back into the thing. And again, it worked again, you'd say, for New Mexico United, but as you said, Herbert, his footing just lost his footing when he was trying to get the delivery right, so it broke down. But that's something certainly that New Mexico United have identified and are trying to focus on set pieces as well.
Through ball looking for Solomon Asante. No problem there for Tambakis. Ryden almost losing possession. Mohamed sends this one long. Joe Hafferty. Ryden will go back to Tambakis. Alex Tambakis, so far this season, 5 clean sheets in 17 appearances. Made 46 saves coming into tonight. Tonight his 104th league appearance. Here's Daniel Bruce, the goal scorer, on a brace and has that one taken off his feet. Foul going to be called here on Nanan Hosu.
That was Hosu taking one for the team there. That was a dangerous moment there for New Mexico United. Flush bodies forward, had plenty of people in the attack, just broke down. Daniel Bruce just couldn't work his feet out quick enough to work the shot. Breaks out to Asante then. Hosu knew exactly what he was doing, knew it was going to be a free kick, was hoping it wasn't going to be a yellow card, and he got everything he wanted.
It's a good look there on our TLC replay. This ball chipped forward, looking for Noel. Flanagan loses possession. Gondo turns it over. Hosu now. Down goes Greg Hurst. The free kick awarded. Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Offside flag was up anyway. Ten minutes into the second half here, Chris. What are your thoughts so far?
I mean, it looks like right now that both teams are just kind of catching their breath a little bit. It was a pretty fast start, I'd say, by New Mexico United in the second half, which I'm sure would please the coaching staff because the start of the first half was, just wasn't good enough at the end of the day. But yeah, Las Vegas, you can see they're just maybe running out of ideas a little bit. New Mexico United have maybe fixed the puzzle a little bit. Those through balls, you can see Smart is still hanging on the shoulder of Abdi Mohammed, just looking for a chance to run in behind. But Mexico United finding the ball in some decent areas. Can they find the right ball? And I think Las Vegas are always going to be dangerous on the counter-attack in the second half. but it looks like it's going to be more of New Mexico United attacking, Las Vegas trying to counter, which is maybe a little different from the first half.
Here's New Mexico on the attack once again. Here's Flanagan. Top of the 18. Just one touch too many there for the Baltimore native, Avion Flanagan.
You can see because of how narrow the wide players are coming for New Mexico United, Las Vegas Lights only have to worry about defending pretty much the width of the 6-yard box. So there's just so many bodies there, it's hard to work an angle for a shot.
Hearing whispers of a upcoming substitution here for Las Vegas. Looks like with this substitution, Las Vegas looking to anchor in here and come away with a point. Is this run from Smart just goes past Tambakis. And there you can see just turning on the jets.
Again, his feet, his pace, nothing worse as a defender. Someone running just full tilt at you there. And it looks like it. Is that Smart who's coming off? That might be a little, it's Asante coming off. But yeah, like Smart has just looked so lively off that right-hand side there. And you can see he's just isolating himself against Abdi Mohammed as well. Yeah, maybe it is just a little sign of Las Vegas saying keep hold of what they got. See in the background there, it looks like maybe New Mexico United are going to make a couple of changes of their own as well.
And so replacing Solomon Asante is going to be Dre Fortune. As I was alluding to just prior to that shot attempt, it looks like Las Vegas Lights bringing in a midfielder for an attacker. So just based on my guess here, it looks like they might be trying to hunker down and secure a point here on the road.
Looks like Ngando's just moved out to this left-hand side there. Doesn't look like necessarily a formation change, maybe just shifting the pieces around a little bit.
Here's Fortune. Zone finds Smart. Opened the scoring against Switchbacks last week. That was his first goal since April. Here's Noel. Spreads it, finds Ngando. Here's the run from Nigro. And good defensive work there from Flanagan. It's going to be a goal kick here for New Mexico.
Yeah, great job there by Flanagan, tracking his man all the way to the end line and putting in that tackle, and almost exactly the same spot as what happened to him in the first half. Ball off the attacking player last for a goal kick.
So you got to keep in mind, double match week here for New Mexico. So expecting some rotations in the squad here in the second half. So that ball deflects from Pinzon, and that's going to be whistled for a handball. So the goal will not count.
I'd say it was a little bit about what we talked on the call, right? Where you think maybe because it came off his foot first, which it did, but he made an action which helped him to control the ball, and that's why the referee has called that and said, a clear advantage, knocking the ball into his path, settling it, absolutely perfect for the strike.
Reyes goes back to Abdi Mohammed, and we are going to see a couple of changes here for New Mexico coming up momentarily. Pinzon, former RGV man. A battle there between he and Herbert. Nigro. Well done there by Sergio Rivas. Flanagan able to turn. Looking for Rivas. Cross goes in. Daniel Bruce with the glancing header. And it just stays wide. As Daniel Bruce with an eye for goal here tonight.
Yeah, and how quick that was to develop as well. It was a great battle with Sergio Rivas. And it was Nigro there. And puts an early ball in, and all it needs is just to get the right connection. He almost gets too much on it, Daniel Bruce. He's trying to just glance it into that far post, just gets too much of his forehead onto it and puts it just the wrong side of the near post. But another decent opportunity on the counter-attack for New Mexico United.
And that's a great look there on our TLC replay. And now the two substitutions for New Mexico that we were hearing about. It's Marco Micheletto and Mukwele Akale. They're on to replace Avion Flanagan and Greg Hurst. Again, a double match week, a big one right here at the Lab on Saturday night as Louisville City come into town. Marvel Superhero Night on Saturday. Dress as your favorite superhero is what they've been saying. So,
who are you coming as?
Well, I was going to ask you the same.
You can't answer a question with a question.
Here's Bruce. Back to goal. What a ball played forward here for the substitute, Micheletto. Micheletto. And this one's going to fall back to Bruce. Atop the 18. Here comes Ngando. Quelle on his first action. Looking back post. Looking to link up with his fellow substitute, Marco Micheletto. And looks like a goal kick going to be awarded here to Las Vegas Lights.
Interesting little interchange there between the two referees. The centre referee looked at the AR to see if Marco Micheletto had managed to keep it in play. Right as the AR had turned around, I don't know if someone said something behind him. Maybe it was the ball retriever, something like that. But, I mean, it was really close. It was a bang-bang play. But, again, lively attacking and instant impact from the subs there.
Jean-Claude Ngando. Back to square one. Duty. Eric Quill asking for a handball. Here's Noel, the goal scorer, able to keep it in. Still Noel. And Noel with the cross goes all the way to the back post, and Las Vegas Lights have taken the lead. And what a goal. It was Smart who finds the back of the net here. Or it was actually Pinzon, I'm sorry. And just like that, New Mexico with more work to do.
Hey, just sucked the life out of the stadium. You just hear it, but Noel just so good traveling the ball. And this little ball with the outside of his foot, and look at that by Smart. It just draws two defenders near post, lets the ball just run through his legs, so he won't technically get an assist because he didn't touch the ball. There's Pinzon just popping up at the back post. Another tap in at the back post there.
So for Pinzon, a 67th minute go-ahead goal here at the Lab has stunned the black and yellow faithful in attendance. And for Pinzon, that's his second goal of the season in just his 9th appearance. 20 minutes, a little bit over 20 minutes plus stoppage remaining here tonight. And for Pinzon, that's his first goal since the 4th of July. Scored a big goal against Sacramento Republic. What was a big win at Heart Health Park. And Las Vegas, Chris, you and I were going through their schedule, so through their results actually prior to the match starting here tonight. They have some really big road victories.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a 1-0 win, like shutting out Sac Republic on their own field, huge, and they went 3 games on the bounce with a shutout, with 3 shutouts in a row. So again, New Mexico United getting that goal back in the first half. If Las Vegas Lights are in the mood, it can be very, very hard to score on them. And they found a little formula away from home. Again, they hadn't won away from home. They've tied a lot of games. You know, what were they, 7-7-7 coming in today? And they've tied a lot of games, but their first 2 wins away from home have come in the last 3 away games.
So the official attendance here tonight, 7,558. You see on the lower third, New Mexico United currently in the lead when it comes to average attendance. Just over 10,300 coming into tonight's match.
By the way, talking about Lights on the road as well, this is their 4th of 4 on the road, on the bounce. Started with Sac Republic right after they beat Charleston Battery. Sac Republic away 1-0 win. El Paso 2-0 win.
Akale looking back post. Ball still bouncing around. Finds Rivas. And he just sends it wide. What an opportunity for the Albuquerque native to equalize.
Just waiting for the net to bulge there. Thought that he just created just enough space to sneak it in and just tried to go near post. It's actually Smart, I think, who passed it across. And there, when he just shifts the ball onto his right foot, he's just done enough. But I'll tell you what, Rosarina was covering. I think even if it was on target, he might have had it covered. He was full extension and was going all out to make sure that wasn't going to go in the back of the net.
Here's Noel. Back to Nigro now. And we talked about Valentin Noel, Chris, as our player to watch in the pre-match. Not only is he Las Vegas Lights' leading goal scorer, he's their leading creator as well. That assist that he picked up on Christian Pinzon's goal, his 5th of the season. That is the most for Las Vegas Lights. So he's your leader in goals scored with 8 and your leader in terms of assists with 5.
And again, that ball with the outside of his foot, he just knocked it into Smart. Smart was making that run from out to in again that we've talked about. And Smart, again, he won't get the assist. Like you just said there, he didn't actually touch the ball, but he just drew the defenders towards the ball in left pin zone, wide open at the back post.
Hosu has to come in with the sliding challenge, and that was Smart causing problems once again. New Mexico looking to counter. Here's Quelle. Former South Georgia Tormenta man. Rivas holds his run and hits it right at the keeper. What a save there from Rosarena.
I would say if it was at a decent height, as a keeper, anywhere around the chest, it makes it a little easier. I think Rivas will be disappointed he wasn't able to keep that down and go maybe far post, but we've talked about keeper, he's going to be hard to beat, and now Las Vegas have something to hold on to. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure that they hold on to this 1-goal lead.
Corner goes in. Headed away initially, and this will be a throw in here for New Mexico. So again, that goal from Las Vegas seems to have woken New Mexico United up, but can't be relying on opposition goals.
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually say leading up to the goal, New Mexico United were looking pretty lively. I think it was a pretty even game, but I kept saying you had to be wary of the counter-attack, and that was the case. I think it was Hosu had a chance to win a tackle on the sideline, able to just break that tackle, and it was Noel in full flight then. That's where the goal came from, you know. But New Mexico United have been asking plenty of questions. It's whether they can find the answers.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. It's Mukwele Akale to deliver. That's headed away by Noel. He's back to Reyes and sends that into the supporter section. So you can see the New Mexico United substitutes receiving some instruction there from first assistant coach Luke Sanford. We're also hearing of a trifecta of substitutes coming up here for Las Vegas Lights, and it looks like those are going to get started right now. And so your substitutes coming in, you're going to have veteran defender Emra Clementa, Joe Zhao, and Corey Bennett. Actually, it looks like we're going to wait on that. We saw the LED board go up with the numbers. We'll get to those subs in just a moment here as play continues. Gondo has been solid here this evening. The Cameroonian. And now it's time for those three substitutes, as I mentioned. So Emra Clementa, Joe Zhao, and Corey Bennett will be coming on for Las Vegas Lights, and they'll be replacing Grayson Duty, JC Ngondo, and Valentin Noel. That is veteran defender Emra Clementa out of Montenegro. The 33-year-old has 7 caps for his country. And if he looks familiar here to New Mexico United fans, he's played the last 3 seasons with Oakland Roots, where he played nearly every single match. Prior to that, spent some time with San Diego Loyal in 2020. And even before that, was teammates with Sergio Rivas back in Reno in 2019. Kale. $15 minutes plus stoppage left in this one. The unbeaten record at home hanging in the balance here for New Mexico. I mean, something's got to give, right, Chris? You meet a side that's gone unbeaten in their last 9 matches. Coming in against a side who is unbeaten at home here in 8 matches. Here's Smart. Smart just with incredible pace. Look at the way he crosses on Abdi Mohammed.
Yeah, Abdi Mohammed is going to know he's been in a game tonight, that's for sure. His GPS stats are going to be off the chart, just tracking Smart all over.
And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays into the lineup selection for Saturday's match.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's we talked earlier about Hurst and Brewster. A lot of miles in their tank on Saturday and tonight.
Nigro cross comes in. Here's Bennett, the substitute. Shot attempt blocked. Second attempt, deflection, cleared off the line by Tony Herbert. Here's a look on that TLC replay, and a couple of really good opportunities there for Las Vegas Lights to go up by 2. Speaking of 2, looks like a couple of substitutes coming on here for Eric Quill. And so you're going to see Dayon Harris and Zico Bailey coming on here for New Mexico as Jacobo Reyes will make way.
Might be a little tweak to the formation. Looks like Storger going off for Zico Bailey, so unless Zico Bailey is going to play right back, there might be a little tweak here, maybe go 3 at the back.
All these second half substitutions brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Positive outcomes for every New Mexican. 7,500 New Mexicans in attendance tonight, hoping for a positive outcome for their side on the pitch. Work to do. You got to imagine guys like Zico Bailey, who missed this last weekend's match in El Paso due to yellow card accumulation. He was suspended. So he's seen his first action here as that ball deflects off of Bruce. Falls to Micheletto. That shot is blocked. As I was going to say, you got to imagine guys like Zico Bailey likely to be getting the start on Saturday against Louisville. Rivas looking to play this one back in. Finds the second half goal scorer, Pinzon.
Tell you what, that shot by Micheletto, that was travelling as well. It was blocked very early on, but he kept it down with his left foot. It was moving, so it would have been interesting if that had broke that or got past that first defender there, but I guess we'll never know.
Zico Bailey went down, and it's Gennaro Nigro going into the officials' book here in the 79th minute. And that was one that we saw earlier where the official told him no more. That is the next infraction resulting in a yellow card. That yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. '80th minute. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand here at the lab. Tidy footwork there from Smart. As Zhao tries to chase this one down to substitute. He does, but it's out for a goal kick. So another substitution here for the visitors. We're going to see Coleman Gannon coming on to replace Sean Smart.
This is not what Abdi Mohammed is going to want to see. Watch a little bit of Gannon play against switchbacks on Friday, and he's a handful as well. Coming in off that right-hand side on his left foot.
And speaking of Coleman Gannon and Abdi Mohammed, they were teammates over the last couple of seasons with Columbus Crew 2 over in MLS Next Pro. And so these two very familiar with each other, and might as well throw in Marco Micheletto as well, who is also with that side, who is the captain of that squad, actually. I'm sure this is not the first time Gannon and Mohammed have gone at each other here. Sure, those training sessions were a lot of fun. Here's Harris. Dayon Harris was an unused sub versus El Paso on Saturday, making his let's see, going out to Abdi Mohammed. Dayon, it's his 14th appearance this season. Scored once for New Mexico. What a goal it was at Phoenix. 16th minute goal. New Mexico victorious in the Valley earlier this season. Final 10 minutes. That ball just had a reach for Micheletto. Deflects to Zico Bailey. Philippine international.
Got away with one there, just a little lapse in concentration. You see New Mexico United knocking the ball around. The movement ahead of the ball, it's expectant. I think they're expecting the midfielders to just knock the ball into space behind, but it's not common. The midfielders and the defenders are trying to build.
Looking for a Kale there, and that one's going to be out for a goal kick.
It just looks like maybe ran out of ideas a little bit, New Mexico United, and there's not really attacking-wise. There's not really many more options on the bench unless you're going to throw one of the centre-backs up as a auxiliary attacker, you know, and maybe give Daniel Bruce a bit of a rest. It's looked a little leggy the last few minutes as well.
It's been a couple of times where we've seen Kalen Ryden get forward towards the end of matches. Been a while since we've seen that.
Call that Plan Z.
But you're absolutely right. You look at the remaining substitutes there on the bench for Eric Quill, a couple of defenders, Talon Maples and Will Seymour. Of course, we mentioned earlier it was Will Seymour scoring in the 89th minute against Las Vegas Lights here at the Lab last year. And what capped out a 6-goal shootout. It was a 3-3 draw. This ball goes in, and it's going to be sent out for a corner.
I think maybe even if you can bring on one of the centre-backs, whether it's Seymour or Maples, and go free at the back, add an extra centre forward, even if it means you go a little more direct. New Mexico United make the two centre-backs really have to deal with two guys, but what's going on right now? It just isn't working. It just doesn't look, you can't see where the goal's going to come from, you know?
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. There's the second half goal scorer, Christian Pinzon. Bailey. Bailey giving the ball away, able to get it right back. Now looking to lead the break. Here's Zhao.
Won the ball with his head there, Hosu, didn't he? I'd love to see that back on replay. He went to ground early. From my vantage point, I'm certainly a lot further away than the referee, but yeah, I certainly thought that hit him in the face. Maybe it was an optical illusion.
A yellow card issued there to Nanan Hosu. It looked like the official deemed it to be a handball there.
And if it was a handball, you can see why he got a yellow card as well, because he was clearly he knew exactly what he was doing as well, you know.
86th minute here at the Lab. Is there a moment of magic in the cards here for New Mexico? Looking to avoid defeat for the first time here at the Lab. Ball played long. We go back to Rosa Reyna. There's Akale. Finds Harris. Great cutback from Deon Harris. Akale. Bruce offside.
Really disciplined line there by Las Vegas as soon as the ball. What a header by Howell, by the way, as well. It went in clear 45, 50 yards. And defenders followed it. Just got such a high line, and Daniel Bruce just wasn't quite quick enough to follow up with it as well. But here's the defender. Like I say, I wonder if we'll go if United will go 3 at the back here, maybe throw an extra forward. Looks like Caelan Ryden's wandering forward, like you said.
Plan Z activated. New Mexico, 88th minute. They're going to throw everything that they've got here to get a point tonight. And you have to give credit where it's due. Las Vegas Lights, they've been solid tonight.
It's been a really even game. Looking at the stats as well, it's really even, well contested game. It's just those big moments. Again, New Mexico United, they've had chances, haven't been able to put them away. Las Vegas Lights have scored their 2 best chances. You have to say that.
Rivas had 2 excellent chances, one-on-one with the keeper. Sent one wide, hit the other right at him. And you just look at those 2 by themselves. That last substitution, we saw Talon Maples on to replace Sergio Rivas. Nicoletto. Down goes Bruce, and the foul called. Look, and we've seen this before, late in games where the hustle of Daniel Bruce wins New Mexico United a free kick in a dangerous position. And here we go. It's taken quickly and called back by the official. So Elvis Osmanovic is going to set this one up here. It's Micheletto and Akale both standing over this. The 2 second half substitutes. Micheletto goes for it. Right in, back post. And it's cleared away by Clementa.
That ball to the back post again, talked about it earlier as well, and it was on. It was completely on. Caelan Ryden put it back in a great area. Just no one home for New Mexico United.
This one falls to New Mexico. Maples bouncing around still. Eventually cleared out by the veteran Clementa. Former Oakland Roots man. 30 seconds plus stoppage remain. Down goes Zico Bailey. Another foul. And this time, yellow shown to Jabung.
A yellow card there for time wasting, but I think the referee showed in the first half he's not scared to add on the time that he feels is owed as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like at the end of the game here.
We're hearing actually that it's going to be 4 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time, celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94. Into stoppage time we go. So it's Makwele Akale lining this one up. Scored in the 74th minute against Oakland Roots here on Meow Wolf night. That by way of a free kick. He's got another goal in the U.S. Open Cup, also by way of free kick. Those are his 2 goals in all competitions this season. So he is dangerous. Instead, looking for the run of Tony Herbert there, and no problem for Lights. What a result this is going to be for Las Vegas Lights if they can hold on.
I say to go this stretch, 4 games on the road, and to all in conference as well. So all hotly contested games as well. Going to some tough places. Sac Republic, the Lab. You got to say to really hard places, to go and to go undefeated, and not only that, but 3 wins. 13 points in those 4 games is absolutely unbelievable. What a great return that is for Las Vegas Lights.
And they've been so good defensively, is one thing to emphasize. This is a New Mexico United side who had scored 13 goals in 8 home matches so far this season. So far, Lights able to hold them to just 1. Looking here for Bennett. He's got Herbert chasing and Hosu as well. Bennett with the smart move, just making his way to the corner.
was really experienced play there by Bennett, where knew exactly what he wanted to do. The temptation must have been real, and it's the good Bennett and the bad Bennett talking to each other about whether to go to goal or go to the corner, and he listened to the good Bennett and went to the corner, and Hosu unfortunately fell for it and gives away a free kick and just gives Las Vegas Lights a chance to kill the game in the corner here.
Corey Bennett, the 26-year-old Jamaican, prior to Lights, spent time with Charlotte Independence. He and Avion Flanagan, teammates back in Charlotte back in 2023. Here comes Micheletto. Is there one more moment of magic left in the cards here for the black and yellow? Coming up on 3 minutes gone by of second half stoppage. A minimum of 4 added minutes. Micheletto. That was blocked. He'll get it right back. And Micheletto, he's the one who you want with the ball at his feet. 24 chances created for New Mexico this season. That is the most. And Bennett, again, and he's got help with Zhao. Great defensive work there from Herbert. Play on, says the official. New Mexico with one last attempt. Harris finds Akale. Here's Akale. Still Akale. And it's going to be a corner kick here. Topo Chico hard seltzer corner for New Mexico. Taken quickly. Micheletto. And just over hits it.
The coach and staff were asking why Kale took that so quickly. They were looking to get Tambakis up.
And that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. The unbeaten streak for Lights reaches double digits as they hand New Mexico their first loss at home of the 2024 season. 2-1, your score. Daniel Bruce is your play of the match, brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery for his goal in first half stoppage time on his 130th appearance. Chris, your thoughts on this one here tonight?
I think it was a really even game, a bit of a chess match, but big moments change big games, and I think Daniel Bruce gets man of the match. Smart was the difference in my opinion. Noel obviously was very handy as well, but I just feel the danger man all night was Smart off the right hand side.
And Tony Herbert awarded your save of the match, presented by Aging and Long-Term Services of New Mexico. As you can see the body language, the looks of disappointment on the faces of these New Mexico United players. Full time here at the Lab. Las Vegas Lights 2, New Mexico United 1. We'll step aside. We'll be back to wrap things up.
Win on 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I told the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest, improve it. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it.
With more ways to win, whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Full time here at the Lab. Las Vegas Lights victorious here for the first time in Albuquerque. Final score, Lights 2, United 1. Brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. Chris, let's take a look at how this one played out with our full-time highlights here tonight. Those brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. We're here for you, and we're here to win. Starting off things, 12 minutes in, Valentin Noel gets in behind the defense and tucks this one away past Tempakis.
Yeah, great time pass, time run. The front four of Las Vegas Lights were just really hard to handle all night for New Mexico United. And yeah, that was a run from out to in. Noel and just got on the blind side of the centre-back Herbert and just slotted it, put it right between the wickets.
New Mexico, however, up to the task here in the first half. In first half stoppage time, it's the Englishman Daniel Bruce off the feed from Greg Hurst, finding the back of the net for the 5th time this year.
Yeah, and everything seemed rosy at that point. And honestly, my personal opinion, goal of the season. Just so many players involved in it for New Mexico United. Finished off, and the passing, the timing of the runs, the timing of the passes, it was just absolutely amazing to watch. It really was.
And here you see New Mexico with another attempt as Rivas plays this one in, and it was the glancing header there from Bruce.
And it was a lot of chances like this where it was like the nearly chances for New Mexico United. They created plenty in the second half. That's what they'll maybe be disappointed with, that they weren't able to finish one more of them off.
And we see the miss there from Bruce, and then just to cap things off, the goal from Christian Pinzon, the dummy from Smart. Just beautiful play there from Lights.
Just look at the texture on the pass there from Noel, just outside of his foot, just touches it round the corner, and like you say, lets it through his legs. Pinzon's got all the time in the world to pick his spot at the back post, and that really took the wind out of the stadium. I felt it kind of took the wind out of the New Mexico United players a little bit too.
A goal and an assist on the night for Valentin Noel. He's the leading scorer and assister for Las Vegas Lights. This is your full-time stats here. What do you see, Chris?
I think what I said right after full time, a pretty even game, and big moments change big games, and Las Vegas Lights were able to finish 2 of theirs, and New Mexico United probably let a couple get away from them.
And so up next on the schedule here for Las Vegas Lights, they're off this weekend, as their next match is going to be the following Saturday against Detroit City at home, back at Cashman Field. And for New Mexico, right back at it here on Saturday, this Saturday, Marvel Superhero Night against top of the East, Louisville City FC. Make sure to get onto SeatGeek. Grab your tickets for that if you haven't already. That's going to do it for us here tonight. For Chris Hurst on color, for our director, Stephen Williams, my name's Tyler Ortega, and we'll see you again here on Saturday.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.